Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome back to the What's Next on Basketball podcast. I am your host, as always, Jeremy, and today we are here with episode 5. Wow, 5 episodes? Can't believe we're already in it. 5 episodes in, and so far, it's been going pretty alright. Got some cool things going on. I think so far I've had 15 people listen to my podcast, so that's been pretty cool. I really appreciate all you listening, and like I said, don't forget to share the podcast. Try to share with as many people as you can, because it really, really helps a lot. It really does. I can't really stress that enough. But, that's all that. It's been a couple days since I've last done my podcast, and yeah, in the NBA world, a lot has happened since then. I think it's been I want to say 6 or 5 days since I've last made an episode, so there's a lot to talk about. Now, in today's episode, we have 3 things that we'll, discuss today. First, I'm going to talk about the James Harden situation that's going on. Then I'm going to talk about I talked about it before in a previous episode, but now just to get into it, we're going to talk about all the teams heading into the official free agency start and what to look for each team and what to expect from them, and then I think that might be the last thing. We'll talk about free agency stuff when it comes to those teams. We'll talk about that topic last, but another thing we'll talk about is all the updates that have happened in this NBA offseason. I always call it free agency, but it technically is the off season because free agency hasn't started yet, but you guys know what I mean. So we'll talk about updates on the off season and whether it comes from players, signing an extension, players declining, all that stuff. So yeah, let's get ready. But man, one thing I realized about doing a podcast is I do get really, really thirsty after a while because, most of these recordings that I'm doing at most so far, they've been an hour and a half. So yeah, it really takes a toll on you. So now I got my water here. I don't know if you guys can hear the water, but I got it right next to me in case I need to get, a little sip because, your boy needs to, stay hydrated over here. Can't have him dying and just all you hear is every 5 seconds, because I feel like that's a big thing I've been realizing from the recordings. It's just me doing that. Actually, right now, let me get a drink real quick. Hold on, guys. There we go. All right, I'm ready now. Like I said, guys, I'm a professional, but also not. So let's get into it. Let's find out what's next in the basketball world. So first off, as I said, we will talk about James Harden and, the whole situation going on. So to look here right now, I think they had it updated on here. James Harden will be picking up his $35.6 million option with the 76ers, and both sides have agreed that they are going to start doing trade talks. So far, the teams that have been interested, 2 of the teams that have been big news, are the Los Angeles Clippers and the New York Knicks as I guess you could say top candidates when it comes to getting James Harden. And here's how I feel about it. We'll start off with the Clippers. Now, because remember, it is a trade they would have to do. So if I understand that correctly, yeah, it has to be a trade thing. So the Clippers have to give someone up in order to get James Harden. Now, if they somehow do a trade where they keep Kawhi, Paul George, and James Harden, I would say it's a great trade. But if you have to trade Paul or Kawhi, I don't know if that's going to really work out. Now, I highly doubt they're going to trade Kawhi, so I could see Paul George maybe being the guy they trade. But then again, I don't know how high Harden's value is, so hopefully they don't have to trade the two. Maybe they could trade maybe a young guy they have on the team. Let me see right now. Let's see who they have on their team that they could potentially trade. They just got some young guys, so they could maybe trade their rookies from Kobe Brown, Jordan Miller. They could trade Terrence Mann. Bones Highland, I heard, has been a guy that's people really like. maybe Robert Covington. Robert Covington, I'm pretty sure he used to be on the Sixers a while back. Let me see right here. Yeah, he actually got drafted by them. So like he was there for. Oh no, I'm lying. I apologize. He actually was there his second year, and then he stayed for like 5 or 6 years from what it looks like. So he's been on the Sixers before, so it wouldn't be anything new to him if he got traded. As for let's see, as for anything else here, let's see. They could trade Russ, but I highly doubt that. They've really been liking Russ. Maybe Norman Powell, but I don't know if that'd be a smart move by them. But who knows? I mean, if you trade Norman, you're getting Harden back, so I guess it wouldn't be like that crazy of an idea. But I don't know if they're going to trade George and Kawhi. I don't see that happening. And if they do trade George or Kawhi, it's got to be like, what is it? The Sixers have to like be giving up like at least a couple first rounds. I would see, because they're definitely worth at least like 3 or 4, maybe even more than that, of when it comes to like first round picks. As for like second rounds, it could be like how much they want. They're probably like another like 3 to 4 second round picks, or maybe that's too much. Maybe I'm over here like, oh, that's too much. I would say maybe like 2 to 3 second rounds, and then at most it's like whatever first rounds you have, because a lot of like players like these, they have high trade value, so you're not going to be expecting them like, oh, here's James Harden in 1 first round for Paul George in a first round. No, the Clippers are going to want a lot back because they're giving away a huge star. I don't think they're going to go that route, but since they are in talks with them of a trade, it's not out of the question, because we already talked about in the last podcast how the New York Knicks and the Clippers are actually in trade talks. Potentially, it was like rumors that they were interested in trading Paul George. So clearly, the Clippers have already been interested in trading Paul George, and this wouldn't really be, way out of the question of them bringing Paul George to the 76ers. And if that happens, that will be a very scary team. Maybe. I don't know. Because you guys know how I feel about Joel Embiid. Joel Embiid's another guy where I feel like he's just a playoff choker. And some of you might be saying, oh, that might be harsh, but he hasn't brought his team, his entire time being there, he hasn't brought his team to anywhere past the second round. So I would say, he's not good. But hopefully Paul George could be that guy that could help them, do that. Because, James Harden was that guy that was helping them in this year's playoffs. But he's old, and also he's also not good when it comes to the playoffs. Which I didn't know why they thought, oh, let's put these two guys together that are clearly not good when it comes to, like, working together. So, yeah, I just thought that was kind of dumb. But, yeah, there's other options they have here. But those are maybe some of the players they could trade from the Clippers. Now, let's look at another team here, which is my team, the New York Knicks. They are also, like, it's them and the Clippers when it comes to, like, I guess you could say most likely to be in the trade for Paul George. Not Paul George, I'm sorry, James Harden. So, first things first, I will say this. As a Knicks fan, I hope they don't do this trade. I really, really hope they don't do the trade. Because I just don't think you're getting anything good in return. As I said already, you're getting back a guy that's not good in the playoffs, and we're trying to do a playoff push. We're trying to get past the second round because we've already seen that we can get past the first round. Now we need to try to get past the second round so we can go to the conference finals. So, getting James Harden is not going to help us. Whether you guys want to, be like, oh, but James Harden has brought his team to the conference finals before. Yeah, but he's never won it. Why? Because he is also somebody that's not good in the playoffs. He's done it time and time again, so I'm not trusting him. That's not a guy that I want. And then all you're going to do is take minutes away from our young guys that a lot of them arguably have a lot of potential. We just recently signed Miles McBride. I don't remember how much we signed him back for, unfortunately. We also signed back Josh Hart. So that was also a huge move by us. And let's say the Knicks want to get James Harden. I'm expecting a package with like Obi Toppin, maybe Evan Fournier. I apologize if that's how you say your last name. Maybe RJ Barrett. I hope they don't trade RJ, but I could see that as a possibility. They're not gonna trade IQ. They're not gonna trade Grimes. Like, maybe Isaiah Hardenstein if they want to get rid of him. But there's not like that many guys that they would trade that I feel like would be a good deal for the Sixers. But I don't know. It's not something I think the Knicks should go for. But again, it's another one of those things. They do it every single offseason. They say, oh, so-and-so might go to New York. New York's interested in so-and-so. And then we don't get him. And then everyone makes fun of us for not getting him. And it's like, bro, I do not care if we don't get James Harden. He's getting older and older every single year. He's not really... arguably, he's not that good anymore. He's more like a... Some people might get upset at me for this, so before I say what I'm about to say, let me check his stats for this past season. Alright, okay. He's still considered a star. He got like 21 points this season that just happened. Let me move here. So he still gets he doesn't get as much as he used to in his peak, but he still gets around like 20 something points. And actually, it said this. Oh no, that's his overall career. Sorry. Yeah, he got 21 points this year. He's averaged 21 the past 2 seasons. So I would expect something around that range again. I don't know. It's just like he's good in the regular season. I've explained it before. When it comes to players that I want on my team, like he's great in assist. If we get him for assist, that would be perfect for the team. I don't see him as like the guy that would, I don't know. It's like people are like, oh, but he's good. But it's like, I need someone. Here's what I need when it comes to a player. I don't need you to be great in the regular season. I just need you to be good enough to bring us to the playoffs. Then when it comes to the playoffs, I need you to be great. James Harden, he's great in the regular season, but he is okay in the playoffs. I won't say bad. I won't go super, super harsh. I'll say okay, because I've been saying bad the whole time, but I'll be a little nice. He's okay. So I don't need that. In the words of CP, the franchise, we don't need that. We don't. Shout out to CP and the Knicks Fan TV. I love watching their podcast. I was watching them today, and they were, talking about like potential free agents that the Knicks are potentially interested in. One of the guys I'll talk about later. And then I was also listening to another podcast. They're called Through the Wire, with Kenny Beecham, aka King of the Fourth Quarter, with his friends. Unfortunately, I don't really know them that much. I just know Kenny because I watch his videos. But theirs was cool too. They were also talking about free agency. Everyone's talking about free agency right now because, we're only like 1 day away. By the time of this recording, when you guys hear this, it'll probably be like Friday morning. So for you guys, it's going to be like only a few hours. So yeah, everyone's just talking about it. But yeah, I don't know who the other teams are. They said there's other teams that are interested in James Harden, but I don't know who they are. For the teams that I could maybe see, like, maybe look around to see if it would help them. Number one being the Milwaukee Bucks. I think the Bucks could maybe use him with Chris. I know Chris Middleton is, a small forward, I think? Let me look here. Chris Middleton is a small forward, but when it comes to their, like, shooting guard or just guard in general, they don't have a guy where it's like, there's no way, like, James Harden's going over them. They could use someone like James Harden on their team, and I think the Bucks would get a lot of help from that. So I would say Bucks could be another candidate. I heard some people say the Celtics. I don't really know if he would be good with the Celtics, just because we already have Jaylen Brown as a shooting guard. We have Jason Tatum as a small forward. Maybe Harden could be like the point guard, because their point guard right now is like Malcolm Brogdon, who's probably going to start. So, I would say like the Celtics are like that dark horse team for being interested. And they've already been doing like crazy, trades already. They got Porzingis, which I thought was a fantastic trade. I already talked about it on here, but it was a great trade by them. Is there anyone else? Maybe the Heat. I know the Heat are trying to get more like star players, so I could see them trying to look for James Harden, especially with the whole Damian Lillard situation. From what we've heard now, Lillard does want to stay with the Trailblazers. We'll see how that goes. You guys already know how I feel about that. Like, I don't care what happens to Dame, because it's just like, you're the one that put yourself into this situation. You're in an organization that never gave you a superstar and all-star to work with, and then you expected them to do trades to get you players? Come on now. Like, they weren't going to miss the opportunity to get someone like Victor or Brandon Miller or Scoot Henderson. Like, that wasn't going to happen. But yeah, so since that's not happening with Dame, I could, and they didn't get Bradley Beal either, I could see them trying to go for maybe James Harden. I'm sure they have people to trade, especially after that run that they had in the playoffs. They could definitely have people they could trade. No way they don't. I would say maybe the Nets. Maybe he goes back to the Brooklyn Nets. I doubt it, though. There's also the Rockets. You can't, the Rockets, I think, will always be a name that pops up for James Harden, because there was, like, rumors going on earlier in the season, and I think even, like, last season, the year prior, how he was interested in going back to the Rockets. Though I don't know if they're going to do it, because I did hear the Rockets are interested in Fred VanVleet, and that would be a cool sign-in by them. So who knows? We'll see how that goes with the Rockets. Who's another team? What about the Kings? Could the Kings use a James Harden? They could. I could see them using a James Harden. Oh, well, I don't know, because they already got De'Aaron Fox as a point guard. They had Malik Monk. I think that's how you say it. Yeah, they have him, so maybe they are not as big on it. But I could see him on the Kings. That'd be fun. What about Grizzlies? Let's look at the Grizzlies here. Could they potentially get him? Nah, I doubt it. I don't think they have anyone there. I'll say maybe the Grizzlies if they want to get him. Maybe him and Ja, when Ja comes back, they could work together. Maybe Mavericks. I know they're really trying to get stars around Luka. Let's see, Kyrie Irving's there. Maybe. I'll say maybe on the Mavericks as well. I'll put Mavericks as another like dark horse team that could go for him. But other than that, I don't think there's another team that would that would want him. Or like that would get him, that would like make sense. What about Lakers? Actually, let's look at the Lakers here. Could the Lakers like get him? Actually, no, the Lakers couldn't get him. They have like nothing to trade for, so never mind about that. I think that's really the guys I would see. Maybe the Hawks. I could see the Hawks trying to make a move. I would put him as another like dark horse team, the Hawks. But yeah, that's really all I see there. I don't know where he's gonna go. Obviously, we know he's gonna go to a different team. As to where he goes, that will be determined heading into free agency. Hopefully, we know by the first day of free agency where he's gonna go. But yeah, that's James Harden and the situation with him. Now, let's talk about. Hold on, let me bring it up here. Let's talk about the NBA free agency and what exactly the updates from it. Not free agency, I apologize. I keep calling it free agency. The NBA offseason. Because the free agency technically hasn't started yet. Hold on. Let me get another water here. Alright. Now, it's been a while, so let's try to talk about everything here and what has happened. So, first thing I will talk about. The New York Knicks decided that they will not be picking up the $15.6 million team option on veteran point guard Derrick Rose. Derrick Rose will be now enter free agency, and he's going to be 35 years old at the start of the new season. This was to be expected, we haven't really used Derrick Rose since like the 2020-21 season when we went to the playoffs for the first time in like 8 years, and he really was like helping us out throughout that series against the Hawks. But other than that, he doesn't really play that much. Like, it even says right here that he only played like 27 games for the Knicks, and out of those 27 games, he didn't start not once. He averaged 5.6 points. So like he averaged like 6 points, 2 assists, and like 2 rebounds a game. So it was to be expected. I did hear there are teams that are interested in him. I think I actually have it up here somewhere on my phone. Let me look that up real quick. Nope, shut up, ESPN. We don't want to hear you right now. I don't know what that is. Here we go. So, these were the teams that were interested in Derrick Rose heading into free agency. We have the Phoenix Suns, the Boston Celtics, the Los Angeles Lakers, and the Chicago Bulls. Now, if it was up to me, I think he should go back to the Bulls for his last 2 or 3 years in the season. He probably got at most 3 years left before he retires. He's already heading to 35. I would love to see him back on the Bulls just, for his last years. It'd be really nice, a nice little send-off just to go back home, It'd be nice. Let's see. The other thing here, let's see. Oh, Josh Hart. We already talked about it already. What the heck was that noise? Do I have something popped up? Oh well, I don't know what that noise was, but moving on. We have Josh Hart, who agreed to extend. Oh, no. This was from the 24th. So this was when he agreed to extend it until Thursday. Hold on. We'll talk about Josh Hart later then. Naz Reid agreed to a new 3-year, $42 million contract that includes a player option for the Minnesota Timberwolves. I thought that was a great move by them, though they are getting pretty pricey there when it comes to the Timberwolves, so they better watch out and be careful with that. We already talked about Actually, I don't think I talked on the podcast about John Collins. So, in case I already didn't mention, John Collins got traded to the Utah Jazz for Rudy Gay and a future second-round pick. Now, when it comes to the Hawks, I think this is a pretty okay/bad trade by them. You didn't really get anything crazy back. You didn't even get a first round or anything, but that's to be expected because John Collins' trade value is probably not that high. They've been trying to trade him for 2 years now, so they probably decided that they'll just take whatever they can. And the Utah Jazz, they've just been doing a good job finessing all these teams. I think John Collins is going to be just like Lauri Markkanen, where he has a outbreak season. I really hope so. I hope he has a really good career. Let's see. We already talked about the Damian situation. Dante DiVincenzo. He will not be picking up his $4.7 million option with the Golden State Warriors, and he is the guy that the Knicks are very interested in because apparently him, Josh Hart, and Jalen Brunson used to all play together in college. And we already saw the chemistry between Josh Hart and Jalen Brunson, so I have no doubt in my mind that they would try to get Dante. Now, he would be a very repetitive player if we sign him, but I think he'll be another one of those pieces that will be good as our bench players that could really help us. I would love it. I think that's a great idea. Victor Oladipo is going to exercise his $9.4 million player option to remain with the Miami Heat. I think that's good on him. That was a good decision. The Pistons are going to pick up Alec Burks' $10.5 million option for this season. Another great choice by the Pistons. Alec Burks, as someone who's watched him on the Knicks, he's a great player, so I think that was a really good idea by the Pistons, keeping him. Let's see, maybe here we have Austin Reeves and Rui Hachimura, how the Lakers made qualifying offers to them, so the LA now has the right to match any outside offer to retain them. Hopefully they can re-sign them, because that would be huge pieces that they would lose for the Lakers, especially a team that has basically no future ahead of them when it comes to like the NBA draft. I think their next pick is in like the 2027 or 2029 season, so not looking too great for them. Talen Horton-Tucker is opting into his $11 million deal with the Utah Jazz for the 2023 to the 2025 season. Okay, I think that's a typo, but we're just gonna ignore that. The Lakers also plan to exercise the $4.7 million team option for Jared Vanderbilt. That's another great decision by them. He's fantastic, so I hope they can bring him back. The Hornets announced that they will have extended qualifying offers to Miles Bridges, Theo Maledon, and PJ Washington. Why do they want Miles Bridges back? We know the situation with him. I'm not going to talk about it on here, but we know the situation with him. We don't need that. Get him out of here. This one was very surprising to me, and it's for the Chicago Bulls. The Chicago Bulls have decided that they are going to they're going to finalize a 3-year, $60 million contract extension for Nikola Vucevic. I don't know why let's see, was he good this season? Maybe he had a great season. Let's check here. No, it was the same as last season. He did play all 82 games, so we know he's healthy. The last 2 seasons, he's been great when it comes health-wise. So maybe that's why they wanted him. And actually, the past 3 seasons, he's been pretty good. Actually, arguably, since like the 2018-2019 season, he plays like majority of the games. So maybe that's why they want to keep him. He's okay as a center. I don't know if he's that guy for you that's going to like bring you to the next level. I just think that's a lot for him. $60 million, bro? I don't know. Let's see. Minnesota will not guarantee forward Torrance Prince his $7.4 million contract. That's all right. That's to be expected there. They've already spent a lot of money, so I expected something like that to happen. The Kings are picking up Kessler Edwards' $1.9 million team option, so he'll be staying with the Kings. The Pelicans and Garrett Temple have agreed to extend the deadline for his contract. I don't know if they already signed it. I'll check there in the updates. This is from June 28th, so this was like a day ago. The LA Clippers aren't guaranteeing Eric Gordon's contract, which would have been $21 million, so he'll be a free agent. This is about Kyrie Irving and where he can go. I hope he stays with the Mavs for Luka and the Mavs' sake. I hope he stays. Cleveland Cavaliers, they are going to be guaranteeing Cedi Osman's $6.7 million contract. I don't know if that's the best decision. Osman isn't really like that crazy guy for you. He is pretty good at 3-pointers, if I remember correctly. So maybe that's why they want him for like 3-point shooting, but I don't know. You probably could have gotten someone better in the free agency. So to me, that's just less money you could have used, but whatever, I guess. Center Andre Drummond will exercise his $3.36 million option to go back to the Bulls. Another center where I'm just like, I don't know why they want to keep him. The Bulls are like in a really weird spot where it's like they were playoff contenders at one point, and then they missed the playoffs this past season. They made it to the play-in, but they didn't make it to the playoffs. So I don't know. Like, maybe they know something I don't, but I don't think they're like good centers you should have kept. Now, there was a news that came out that Bruce Brown intends to meet with the Dallas Mavericks soon after the opening of free agency. Now, this was kind of surprising because I thought he was going to stay with the Nuggets, but I guess he is going to check other teams and see what they have. It's no secret that Bruce Brown is going to get a crazy contract from a team. Obviously, the Nuggets do want him back. They hope he comes back, but clearly other teams are going to be very interested in him, especially with the way he was playing this playoffs. I mean, I would want him. I would love Bruce Brown on the Knicks. So definitely look into the Mavericks of potentially getting him. That would be a great pickup by the Mavericks if they could get someone like him. He's so great defensively. I like him shooting-wise. He's pretty good shooting-wise. Let's see his stats right now. He wasn't anything crazy. He only averaged like 12 points. He had 4 rebounds, 3 assists. He had a field goal percentage of 48. This is his 5th season in the league. But playoff-wise, I thought he did great. Let's look right here. Postseason, stats-wise here, they don't really do him too fondly. Oh, no, look, field goal percentage. He went up to a 51%. That's good, right? Free throw percentage was an 85. I don't know. Maybe it doesn't show it on here, but I know defensively he was doing really, really good. So he's someone that teams should definitely consider bringing on to their team. That would be nice to see. The Lakers will waive Mo Bamba's contract, and they're also not going to pick up team option on Malik Beasley. So that's interesting. I don't know if they really played at all this season for them, so I guess that's not too much of a surprise. Now we already talked about James Harden. Here it is. Josh Hart has exercised his $12.9 million option to stay with the Knicks for this season coming up. So that is very, very good news by them. Let's see. Anything else crazy here? Oh, this was actually really cool by the Kings. Harrison Barnes, who was, I would say, definitely a key piece when it came to the Kings' success. He got a 3-year, $54 million contract by them, a contract extension. So good on Harrison Barnes. He really deserved it playing with the Kings. But yeah, so far that's all we've gotten when it comes to the updates of the offseason. Now we're going to end it here with the things, the things each teams are looking we should be looking at heading into free agency. Now, we'll start with the Atlanta Hawks. So far, when it comes to this offseason, they've gotten Rudy Gay, Kobe Buffkin, Seth Lundy, and is it Mohamed Gay? They got them so far on the team. Nothing too crazy where it's like they're going to be championship contenders, but they got some good draft picks, and Rudy Gay is he's just there. He's not going to do anything crazy for the team. I wouldn't be surprised if he gets traded again from the team. So those were so far, I would say they've been doing okay when it comes to the off-season stuff. Now, for who should we watch? We should definitely watch DeJounte Murray, Sadiq Bey, and Onyeka Okongwu as to what they're going to do with those players. I hope DeJounte stays with the team. Is this because they're talking about I'm looking at this article here. I thought he was I think they said he has, because it looks here like they're saying he has a contract extension or something that needs to happen. I thought he already settled that with them. Oh well, hopefully they can keep DeJounte. Make sure to keep him on the team. Sadiq Bey is also another guy I really like. I hope they can try to keep that guy. Onyeka Okongwu is I've seen clips of him being a good center. I don't know if he's, I don't know. I guess he's another guy you could check out if you really want him. Here it is. I found it. Murray is eligible to sign a 4-year, $114 million extension with the starting salary of $25.5 million in the 2024-2025 season. I don't know if they'll give him that contract. I would assume they should, because I think Murray is really good and deserves to get that money. Anything else we should expect here? Nothing too crazy. I would say that they should definitely try to get some centers, more specifically rim protectors in the center position. They should also try to get more three-point shooting. I would say it's really just Young, Murray, and I think that's really it when it comes to three-point shooting. So they should really try to focus on that. And yeah, that's really all I have to say about them. Now, the Boston Celtics. So far, as we know, they got Kristaps Porzingis and Jordan Walsh in the draft, and they got Porzingis from a trade. So that's so far. The Celtics have already made a big trade with Porzingis. I think that was a great move by them. They're already looking even better than they were last season, and this is hopefully a step towards them going back to the finals. With Kristaps finally going to a team, I already said it before, but I'll say it again. With Kristaps going to a team that's are actually like championship contenders, because so far in his career, he was with the Knicks that were not championship contenders. He was with the Mavericks that were playoff contenders, yeah, but they weren't championship contenders. And then he was on the Wizards, who were definitely not championship contenders, but he did great that season, really showing that he can really improve. But yeah, and then Jordan Walsh, he just got drafted, so there's nothing we can really say about him until he starts actually playing games. And then I would say another concern by them is Jaylen Brown. What are they going to do with Jaylen Brown? Are they going to re-sign him? Are they not? Do they feel like it's worth it? I don't know. He is eligible to get like a crazy contract. I would expect something like $300 million. I expect him to get like a excuse me, sorry, I have the hiccups. I would expect him to get like a supermax, possibly. I think he deserves a supermax. Yeah, he didn't play that great this playoffs. It's no secret to anybody, but I think he deserves a supermax or almost a supermax. And I would expect something around like 200-300 million. I don't know. I guess other things is like trying to maybe look for another point guard, because with Malcolm Brogdon always getting hurt, I think you really need to look into a good point guard this free agency. Look for some 3-and-D wings. Get some more like front court depth. And just get some more guys that are better at ball handling, because you guys were kind of lacking on that. I'm not going to lie. Let's see. Brooklyn Nets. Like, if you guys are wondering, I'm looking at like this article right here that's like talking about like the teams and what, like, the article is by Bobby Marks. He's talking about all the priorities he sees when it comes to the teams. And a lot of these are really right, so I'm just going by my opinions on like if this is a good idea or not. Like, there's some things I didn't read on here that I just don't think are worth our time. Off season. So for the Brooklyn Nets, they got Noah Clowney, Dariq Whitehead, and Jalen Wilson in the draft. Like I said, I'm not going to really comment much on the draft people until I actually see them play. I hope they bring back Cameron Johnson. That is someone they should try to get back, because he's a great player. That would be horrible if they don't sign him back. Looking at it here, maybe try to get some people, try to get someone really good in the power forward position, because Dorian Finney-Smith is good, but come on, you need someone else that's like good at offense. Other than that, maybe another point guard, but like here, I definitely try to get some rebounding, get some more 3-point shooters. That's all I really see for them. Charlotte Hornets, they got Brandon Miller, Nick Smith Jr., James Nagy, and Amari Bailey in the draft. They really should try to watch for LaMelo Ball. I would say he's really the number one priority when it comes to making sure he's all good. Is he? I think he's available for. Yeah, he's available for a 5-year, $207 million rookie max extension. Wow, and they better give him that. Has played only 162 games in 3 seasons. The conversation is focused on the impact. Okay, I see what they mean there. I would see him. He'll probably get I don't think he's gonna get like a super max, like something like a 5-year. I think he'll get like 4 or 3 years. I mean, if they give him the 5 years, then they give him the 5 years. But I would say just the team just keeps needing to look at like building their players, getting guys that would help build around LaMelo and Miller. Next up, we have the Bulls. They signed Julian Phillips and Nikola. Oh, they got Julian Phillips and they re-signed Nikola Vucevic, which was really cool to see. When it comes to the Bulls, it's more just like really just find anything that's going to help you guys. Like, you have good players. You have Caruso, Levine, DeRozan, Vucevic, Patrick Williams. It's maybe get better at like the 3-point shooting, like get players that are good at that. I know here he says get a starting point guard. I think Caruso's pretty good as a starting point guard. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but I don't really think you guys need a starting point guard. You have Caruso. I think you're fine with that. And then you have Lonzo Ball, which unfortunately, I don't know if he's going to play this season. So, yeah, there's that. Let's see. Cleveland Cavaliers. They got Imani Bates, which was a good pick by them. When it comes to who they should try to get, like here they're saying they should try to get Karis LeVert. I guess he's kind of the same as like RJ Barrett, where like he's kind of mid. Like RJ's my guy, but I have to admit that RJ is kind of mid. It's either he's really good or he's really bad. So there's like no in between. I'd rather you guys go get someone better. I mean, people would say Karis LeVert is pretty good, and that is fair. He is good, but I need someone that's consistent, not just he's good one night and then he's bad the other night. Come on, that's not what I need. What is LeVert a small forward? He is a shooting guard, so yeah, definitely get a small forward. Let's see, who is next here? Oh, the Mavericks. Try to get back Kyrie Irving. I like the drafts that you got from Derek Lively, Oliver Maxence. I really like that you did that Rashawn Holmes trade. I think that's going to help a lot, but really focus on getting Kyrie Irving back. That would be a huge loss if you don't get him back. And also get some wing defenders. Definitely get that. When it comes to the Nuggets, they got 3 players from the draft: Julian Strawther, Jalen Pickett, and Hunter Tyson. Try to get back Bruce Brown. That's honestly my suggestion. And then try to keep most of the team back. I think you guys did great. Pistons, and we already know they got Ausar Thompson and Marcus Sasser. Really try to do that. Nothing too crazy when it comes to you guys. Just keep trying to do the rebuild. I don't expect you guys to get like crazy superstars from this free agency. So just keep trying to rebuild. Golden State Warriors. We know they got Chris Paul, which was a great pick by them. They got Brandon Podziemski, who I think is a great pick. Trace Jackson Davis, they got him also from the draft. So they got some good players so far on their team. As to who they should really try to bring back, that's no secret here. Try to get Draymond Green, because I know he would like to come back. Is Klay Thompson not coming back either? No, I think he just has like an extension he can do. I guess you could try to give him a contract extension if you want. As for the Rockets, Amen Thompson and Cam Whitmore were great pickups. I guess when it comes to like what they should do this free agency, I guess don't hurt in trying to get James Harden. Rumors have it that he would like to come back, if it's true or not, but hey, see if he wants to come back to the Rockets. No hurt in trying. Other than that, continue your rebuild. Pacers, I don't really know what to say about this one. Just, keep trying to build a good team around Tyrese Halliburton. Getting Jarris Walker was cool. Ben Shepherd was really cool. Mojave King, Isaiah Wong, they were cool picks. Nothing really too crazy on the Pistons, I really have to say. Just get better. Clippers, I'm going to be honest, I'm not going to read anything about you guys because I don't really care about you guys. Just stop being a laughingstock. Simple as that. Lakers, just try to get Reeves and Rui Hachimura back and see if you can somehow get any other players to help LeBron James. It's not looking good for you guys. It's really not. So really try to figure that out. Grizzlies, I don't really know what you guys would really need. Looks like here you guys can do a rookie extension for Desmond Bane. Definitely try to do that. Just hope and pray that you have a good start of the season without Ja Morant. Moving on. Miami Heat. really try to get a star. Try to get a star, man. All you need is one more piece, and you guys will be great. Milwaukee Bucks, definitely try to get some other players that will really help Giannis get another championship, because I do believe Giannis, by the end of his career, will have at least like 5 or 6. That's my opinion. Giannis is arguably one of, if not the best player right now in the NBA. So please just try to get him more players that could help him get his second championship. Timberwolves, I don't really know what you guys should do. It looks like the All-Star Anthony Edwards, it says here, is eligible for a 5-year, $207 million contract extension. I don't know how you guys are going to do that, because you already are spending a lot of money on Karl Anthony Towns, Rudy Gobert, and Naz Reid. I have heard that they want to trade Cat, so we'll see how that goes. You got Leonard Miller, which I thought was a great pick. I like Leonard Miller. And then Jalen Clark, which I don't know much about. So just keep trying to build and get a championship team. Pelicans, just pray Zion is able to play in this upcoming season and hope he actually does good. Getting Jordan Hawkins was great. High five to you guys. I think that was a great pick by you. You know, he's just a good player. Like, I've seen highlights of him. He's good. So what they should, like, really try to focus on, get 3-point shooting, get rim protection, and a good point guard. Yeah, definitely get a good point guard. As for the New York Knicks here, I would say the same thing as the Miami Heat. Please get a guy, like a superstar or something that's going to help us go to that championship contenders type team. We've seen from them this season that they can be those guys. They got the 5th seed. I expect them to get that or something higher this upcoming season. Getting Josh Hart was great. Hopefully you can keep Emmanuel Quickley. I think he still has a year left, right? Or maybe it's like an extension they're talking about here. But, you know. Oh, yeah. He's eligible for a 5-year extension. I hope they give him his contract. He deserves it. Oklahoma City, just keep doing what you're doing, bro. You guys are doing great. No, not much on you guys. Orlando Magic, rebuild, you know, just keep rebuilding. 76ers, please try to figure out what you're going to get in return from trading James Harden. Try to get back a star if you can. Figure out how Joel Embiid can move on to that next step of not being injured in the playoffs every single year and every single series. And just somehow figure out what is it that you need to go past the second round. You haven't gone past the second round. I don't know why you haven't. But yeah, figure that out, man. Suns, try to get a bench. Please get a good bench. Yes, you have Bradley Beal. You have Devin Booker. You have Kevin Durant and DeAndre Ayton. But you need a good bench. Please. You're not going to do good in the playoffs if you don't have a good bench. No matter how good of your starting lineup is, you need a bench. Trailblazers, I guess just figure out how this Scoot and Damian Lillard situation is going to go. You guys have a lot of players that's going to be interesting how the lineup looks. You have Lillard, Scoot Henderson, Simmons, Shaedon Sharpe. I think Jeremy Grant I think they can try to sign him back. So hopefully they can get Jeremy Grant back. Maybe a good center that can help Nurkic. Kings, I said it before, just figure out what you can do to get better from this season. Spurs, just celebrate that you have Victor. Who cares if you guys do bad again? Who cares? You got Victor. You guys are looking great. I guess you could see, who knows, maybe there's a superstar out there that's interested in going to San Antonio now that Victor's there. If I'm a superstar, I'm not saying I'm gonna go there, but I mean, come on now. Victor Wembanyama, who is the greatest superstar or greatest draft pick since LeBron James. We've never seen anything like it since LeBron James. He has the potential to be as good as LeBron James. So you guys see how I feel about that one. But, you know, if I'm a superstar, I'm definitely considering going to the Spurs. As for the Raptors, I don't really know what you guys should do. I mean, try to get back Fred. I don't know if he wants to stay, though. It looks like a lot of teams are very interested in him from what I've been reading here, so definitely expect some crazy contracts, negotiations by Fred. Grady Dick was a really good pickup. I'm really happy about that. I think they're another team where it's like, if you don't get Fred, just do a good job rebuilding at this point. Just try to get your stars like Scotty Barnes, OG Anunoby, Pascal Siakam, Achua, Grady Dick, Gary Trent Jr. You know, those guys, just try to help them become a good team again. I think they could become a solid team. Do I think they'll be championships? No. But who knows? Jazz, just keep rebuilding. Nothing to say on them. Washington Wizards, same thing. I expect a lot of trades from you guys this free agency. I don't know, just keep doing your rebuild as well. And yeah, that's really it on that. That's all the 30 teams and what each team should expect. A lot of teams, as you can see, it's just like, you know, I've been talking about all these teams, and it's just the same thing like I said in the previous episode from you guys. You know, just keep doing what you're doing that I've said previously, and hopefully we'll see some nice stuff. This is going to be a very interesting free agency this year. I can't wait to see who goes where. Let's actually look. Who is real GM? Let's see, NBA. Oh. Let's see. Current free agents. Here we go. What? Carmelo Anthony is not a free agent. This one's trash. I'm not looking at that one. Here we go. Alright, here's what we have for potential free agents. So we got Kyrie Irving, which so far is expected that he should go to the Mavs. Jeremy Grant, I would love to see where he goes. Got Fred VanVleet, Chris Middleton. I don't know where Chris Middleton should go. I do have like some teams I think would be fun to see him in. I would love to see him on the Pistons, maybe the 76ers, maybe the Celtics. Celtics would probably be fun to see him. Maybe a team like the Lakers would want him. But that would be interesting to see. Draymond Green. Oh, Kyle Kuzma is a free agent. I did not know that. He's going to be fun to watch to see who wants him, because he really made a huge jump in his career. Let's see. Who are some other interesting names on here? I mean, there's Russ, but I think he's going to go back to the Clippers. Dylan Brooks. I wonder where Dylan Brooks is going to go. That's going to be very interesting to watch. Kobe White is a free agent? I did not know that. Lonnie Walker is a free agent? What? Trey Jones. This is not bad. This isn't a bad free agency now that I look at it. You got some like really good potential like bench players or potential starting players that you could have. So there's definitely options here for every team and like what they need. Actually, it looks like from seeing this, like Jeremy Grant, teams that are interested are the Pistons, Trailblazers, and the Kings. Oh, that would be fun to see him on the Kings. What about Middleton? Oh, right now it's the Rockets and the Bucks. Huh. Rockets is interesting. What about Kyle Kuzma? Kyle Kuzma, we have the Rockets, Pacers, Kings, Spurs, and Wizards. Oh, Spurs? Hey, Kyle. Everything's bigger in Texas, Kyle. I'm just saying. Everything's bigger in Texas. And I'm sure that contract's going to be a pretty big contract. And you're playing with Victor Wembanyama? Hey, Kyle, I think you should go for the Spurs if I was you. It looks like the Pistons are interested in Cam Johnson. The Cavaliers are interested in Miles Bridges? Stop, bro. No, moving on. Who was another guy that seemed interesting? Oh, Gabe Vincent. The Raptors are apparently interested in him. That's interesting. Let's go back to like another guy, Kobe White. It looks like only the Bulls are interested. That sucks. Grant Williams, who was on the Celtics, he's also going to be a free agent. He's interested, obviously, by the Celtics, the Mavericks, and the Pacers. The Pacers are interested in a lot of players this free agency, so expect stuff from the Pacers. Dang, nobody's interested in Malik Beasley at the moment? Come on, man. He could be good on a team. Patrick Beverley, so far it's just the Bulls that want him. Let's see. It's like another guy here that I'd want them to try to sign that I think is going to be like under the radar. I would say, I guess you could say under the radar, maybe Kendrick Nunn. I heard he had like a great start into the season. This one that just happened. So maybe someone could get him. Who knows though? I guess no one really wants him. Okay, yeah, that's really most of the guys. Oh, maybe Reggie Jackson here. We got like Dennis Smith. Okay, there's some potential names on here that could be fun to see for this free agency. But I think that will conclude this today's episode. Hopefully you guys enjoyed it. It was just a chill episode, I would say, today. I just want to get one out there right before free agency. Oh, let me actually explain that to end it off this podcast. So how it will work is, as I said before earlier in this episode, this episode 5 will be uploaded probably sometime Friday morning for you guys, and then later that day is obviously NBA free agency. What I'm going to do is I will be updating you guys on my Instagram, so go follow that if you're interested. I will be updating everything that happens and who's getting signed where. And then afterwards, I'll do a recording later that day, which will then be uploaded on Saturday, because I have Friday and Saturday off, thankfully, for my job. So I'll be able to do the first 2 days of free agency and see how that goes. So definitely expect a lot of updates by me. I really try to keep it up with you guys. I was trying to keep it up with the off-season stuff, but there was so much going on there that I was just like, they're not really that important. I can just talk about it on an episode, which I did. So, yeah, there's that. So, if you guys are wondering, like, why am I not doing a live stream? I'm not going to do a live stream or any of that sorts. I'll just update you guys on Instagram, so just be on the lookout for that. And then I'll talk about it and how I feel about all the signings. So, expect that for Saturday. That'll be fun. That'll be episode 6. It's a Jesus, my stuttering. It's a fun time right now in the NBA, especially for me being a beginning podcaster. I have a lot to talk about. Hold on, guys. Let me drink water real quick. Man, this is saving me a lot, this water, guys. I'm telling you. Now I understand why when someone does like a speech or like they're presenting something to people, now I see why they have waters, because man, it's a lot talking. But you guys know how I am. I love talking about basketball. I could talk about, if I had the opportunity and I really wanted to with the app that I'm using, I would be on here all day talking about basketball. So yeah, you guys know how I am. But I think is there anything else I have to say? Again, just to repeat myself, I really appreciate you guys listening to these episodes. Please make sure to share them. It really helps a lot there. Make sure to follow my Instagram. I'm really trying to make the whole YouTube option as well, but it just takes a while of editing, so it's going to take me a bit, since it's just me doing this, guys. I don't have anybody that helps me out, so it's going to take me a bit. Actually, when it comes to the podcast, I want to do a huge shout out. So I saw this, I want to say like 3 days ago. This was probably like a day after I uploaded episode 4, when I talked about, the results for the 2023 NBA draft. I use the Spotify for podcasters app, and on here it shows me things like who's listening from where, what app are they using to listen from, what's like the age that people are listening around, what's their gender, like it tells me everything of that. It also tells me how many people have like played. Like I told you guys, I'm at like 15 plays. It tells me how many plays I get per episode, what my audience size is like for that week, and how many followers I have. I have 4 followers right now, so that's pretty cool. But I looked at my audience, and they call it the geographic location. So back to like where you're listening from. I have 86% that are listening from the United States, and you're probably wondering, why isn't that 100%? Well, because I have a 14% audience that is from the United Kingdom. That's right. I have UK listeners, and I found that hilarious. So whoever is listening to this from the UK, yo, shout out to you, bro. I don't know how you found me, but that is hilarious. I don't know why you're even listening. I don't know what made you think, hey, let me listen to like this idiot just rant about basketball and talk crap on people. And I guess you must have liked it because you listened to it for at least a minute. You took your time into listening, which I really appreciate that, bro, or gal, whoever you are. Please say, like, I would love to hear anything from you. You can even message me on my Instagram or something. I just think that's hilarious. So yeah, we're expanding, guys. Like, we're only 5 episodes in, and we're getting listeners from other countries, guys. Come on, you guys got to get with the program now. Start sharing, man. I need to start hearing people from like all around the world, bro. If I can get like, I don't know, some like crazy country. What's a crazy country that I would love to hear from? Oh, I would love to hear someone from China, even though I doubt that would happen because I know they have a lot of strict rules when it comes to like, you know, what their audience can listen to and watch. But that would be funny if I could get someone like Xi Jinping. Just imagine that, just Xi Jinping listening to my podcast. He's like my #1 fan or something. That'd be hilarious. But I'm rambling on now, guys. You know how it is. But yeah, thanks for listening. And yeah, I really appreciate it. This was episode 5 of the What's Next on Basketball podcast. So until then, until the next episode, stay tuned.